Greetings and welcome to the Halloween edition of the Sliders Review. Alright, let's address the elephant in the room. I know it's not Halloween. Alright, that's long past. But when it came to my Halloween videos, I ran out of time and I couldn't upload everything I wanted to. So that's why I'm uploading them past Halloween. But if you stop and look at it like this, at some point in time, it's gonna be Halloween time again, October. So somebody eventually will stumble upon my videos and watch it around Halloween time. So yeah, and I'm here today to talk to you about The Exorcist, the 1973 movie. So just last year, I reviewed The Exorcist, the Fox television first season, and I said how I've never seen The Exorcist, but then later on, I looked on clips on YouTube of the actual exorcism from the first movie, because I've never seen the first movie. And so as I'm like scrolling around HBO Max looking for something to watch, because they're taking a bunch of movies off towards the end of this month, I found The Exorcist. I'm like, about time I get to see this movie and stuff. I want to see what's so great about the so-called scariest movie ever made and everything. It took me 5 days to watch this. Not because I was scared, but because I was bored. I was literally bored out of my mind. The only part, and I do mean the only part of this movie I liked, is towards the end when they get to the actual exorcism. Other than that, what the world is going on with this movie? I don't like how it's written. How in the world is this the greatest horror movie ever made? Don't get me wrong, Linda Blair did a great, phenomenal job. This is why she is praised to this day. Peacock is supposed to be making some type of like reboot or something like that, but they are not bringing her back. They're just bringing the mom back. I don't understand that. Personally, I like the television show a whole lot more. It's structured better. It's written better. The pacing is so much better. That the two main problems I have with this is that for 2 full hours I am completely bored. I don't know what's going on, and the pacing is all over the place. It's like they will have a scene that will be like kind of interesting, but then it'll cut to something completely different that's really boring, and then it'll stay there for like a minute or a couple of seconds, then cut right back to something completely different, and then cut right back again. And I'm just like, why do you keep cutting it? Like, it's awkwardly paced. Basically, the beginning of this movie shows people digging somewhere, looks like in Egypt or something like that. There might be a priest who's helping them dig, and they're looking for something. What that something is, even I still do not know. And then, it goes from that, and, we're just like in, America, and at some point in time, we see some scenes where Reagan and her mom show that she is a normal, young, nice little girl. So that's cool. That's a nice setup and everything. And then we get like a bunch of scenes with the priest. And those are some of the most boring scenes I have ever seen. May he rest in peace. Both the priests, I think they're both dead, I think. They did a phenomenal job in this movie, but, he bored me. I don't care for his everyday life. Like, we see him like walking around town. We see him standing in places. We see him interacting with people. We see him taking care of his elderly mom. We see his mom has died and he's sad. We see him going to like the crazy house. And then we hear him talk about like, he's thinking about giving up his faith and all this and that. Why do I care about any of that? Get to the actual story. And so then it finally does get to the story, and we see just the mom. She's like some type of celebrity. You see her daughter playing around. The mom throws like these fancy parties and stuff, and that's taking up a lot of space. And then finally, all of a sudden, the little girl's just playing a Ouija game board, and at some point she gets possessed by like a demon and everything. The Mr. Howdy dude, you know what I'm saying? And so like, and that happens off screen. So we see her coming down. She pisses herself, and then they don't know what's wrong with her, so they think she's kind of crazy in the head. So they keep taking her to all these doctors and specialists. Now I do find that part very interesting. I find that part very realistic and very intriguing. It's like, so we don't know she's possessed by some type of demonic demon, you know what I'm saying? So we have absolutely no idea, and so we're the audience just figuring out like what's going on, and then all of a sudden she starts acting a little crazy, throwing her head bouncing around. I love that part. Her cussing folks out, grabbing folks, being like sadistic and everything. That's all cool, but then it goes back to that boring priest again. And I'm just like, well, what the world? Why are you going back to him for if he's not there helping out? And then so like the mom, we see her frantic and worried, and that's great, but it's still boring because they keep going back to that same priest. And then there's some weird cop dude who's like snooping around, but he's not doing nothing. And then all of a sudden, finally, she talks to that priest dude, and they're like, well, maybe they can do like an exorcism, blah, blah, blah. So then he goes to the house and see how she is. And then he don't think nothing is like, he don't think she's possessed. He just think, maybe she's just crazy in the head. And then so it's like, what the world, man? And then so finally, the man himself, whatever Big Daddy Priest is, I don't know his name, but he's like the cool old dude who's like really tall. He gets out that cab, and it's that scene we always saw like a million times on posters and videos and stuff. It's a very beautiful, haunting scene of him stepping out the cab, standing next to like the house, walking up like, towards the house. It's a cool scene. We've all seen that before. And I just like seeing that just made me so happy. Because I'm like, that's actually cool. You know what I'm saying? Because everything else in this movie sucks. And then, they go in and they do their thing. And then this is when all the cool stuff happens. We get to see the floating. We get to see the head twisting. We get to see the vomit. We get to hear like noises. And all that cold, spooky air is like so cool and everything. But then then they do like the whole exorcism thing and the whole like, the power of Christ will compel you and all that stuff. And then that part goes on for a little too long. They kept saying it, but it was still cool. And this old priest, daddy priest dude, man, he's like chill and everything. She throws up in his face, he just cleans it off. She spits up in his face, he just cleans it off and everything. And then all of a sudden he's praying next to her, and then it cuts to like the mom and the other priest. And then it's like he goes back in the room and Big Daddy Priest is like dead. Like how? When did this happen? It would have been nice to see. But she straight up killed that dude, and she's out of her restraints and just sitting there all chilling with the demon in her, ain't trying to do nothing terrible. And then all of a sudden, the other priest is pissed and just smacking the crap out of her. And it's like, dude, don't you remember she's a little girl possessed? So why are you smacking her? And then he's all like, take me, take me. And then all of a sudden, the demon goes in him, and he's able to, like, muster up enough strength to jump out the window. What the what? And then so he dies. And then there's another priest mourning over him. And then all of a sudden, the little girl's fine. The mom's like, all right, we're moving. And then it's like, oh, she don't remember nothing. And then the girl kisses. Oh, this is the part that's really weird. Before she kisses the priest on the cheek, which is why is she kissing a grown man, she looks at his neck for some bizarre reason, and then she kisses him. I'm all like, well, what's going on with his neck? Is this like supposed to be like, is he possessed? Is like some kind of demon in him? Like, what's going on? Nothing. They leave, and then boom, it's over. And I'm just kind of like, why in the world is this considered the greatest horror movie of all time? Nothing happened for 2 hours. I'm not even joking. Like, literally the last couple of minutes, like 15, probably 10 minutes was the best part of the entire movie. So the television show, which sometimes will had like a long pacing issue, that was still better than this, man. They did a better setup of like the little girl. We get to see her being normal a whole lot more. We get to see her being possessed, seeing her getting tempted to the dark side. We see the mom being frantic and everything. We get the big reveal that the mother is like Reagan, all grown up, and that Mr. Howdy dude still wants her and everything, and it takes over her body, and she has to fight him and all this other cool stuff. And it's just like, how in the world? Well, I know how the TV show did it better, because TV shows always do it better than the movie, but I don't understand. This is supposed to be a cult classic, one of the greatest of all time, but I found it utterly boring. And I hate saying that because, like, this is a huge classic, and I've been dying to see this, but it doesn't look good whatsoever. Now, when I was looking, I know there's a second movie, and people don't like that, but then I found a trailer for The Exorcist 2023. I'm like, wait, hold up, when did this come out? Well, it hasn't came out yet, but it's supposed to come out. And so as I looked at the trailer, I'm just looking, I'm just like, how is this The Exorcist? It doesn't look anything like the movie or the TV show or anything like that. So I probably won't never see that because it doesn't even look similar to like the movie or TV show. And I don't care what people say about the TV show, it's a million times better than that of the movie. And I hate saying that. This is what made Linda Blair a huge mega star, you know what I'm saying? And but like I said before, she did a phenomenal job in this movie. Like she did an amazing job. And everybody else did an amazing job. It's a boring movie. All right. Well, I shall talk to y'all later. Bye.